In a small, forgotten village nestled between dusty hills, lived a boy named Leo. His family was very poor. Their house was small and crooked, with a roof that leaked when it rained. Leo's father, Mr. Miller, worked hard in the fields, but the land was tired and did not give much. His mother, Mrs. Miller, mended old clothes for other families. Her fingers often sore from the needle. They did not have much to eat, but they had each other. Leo often went to bed with his stomach rumbling, dreaming of a table full of warm bread and sweet jam, a dream that felt as far away as the stars in the night sky. He saw the worry in his parents' eyes and wished he could do something to help them. The other villagers were not very kind to Leo's family. When Mrs. Miller walked through the market, the other women would whisper. They looked at her patched dress and worn-out shoes. Mr. Baker, who owned the only bakery, would often shoo Leo away if he stood too long looking at the fresh loaves of bread. "Go on, boy," he would say gruffly. "There's nothing for you here." The other children in the village would not play with Leo. They called him Raggedy Leo and laughed at his old clothes. This made Leo feel very lonely. He felt like a little gray cloud in a world full of sunshine, always on the outside looking in. Despite the whispers and the unkind words, Leo had a big dream. He looked at the schoolhouse, a place he could not go because his family needed him to help at home. He imagined books filled with amazing stories and numbers that could build great things. He promised himself that one day he would learn everything. He would build a better life for his family. He would show everyone that he was more than just a poor boy in ragged clothes. His hope was like a tiny seed planted in his heart, and he watered it every day with his dreams of a brighter future, a future where his family would never be hungry or sad again. Leo's determination grew stronger with each passing day. He would secretly borrow old newspapers from the village trash pile and try to read the words. He would watch the carpenter, Mr. Henderson, the only man who was ever kind to him, and learn how he measured wood and built sturdy chairs. Leo knew that his journey would not be easy. He knew he would have to leave his small village and travel to the big city in the state, a place he had only heard about in stories. The thought was scary, like standing at the edge of a deep, dark forest. But it was also exciting. It was a chance, a single opportunity to change everything for himself and for the people he loved most in the world. When Leo turned 16, he knew it was time. He hugged his mother and father goodbye. His mother cried and packed him a small bundle with a piece of bread and a worn blanket. His father placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "Be a good man, Leo. Always be kind." With those words in his heart, Leo began his long walk to the state capital. The road was long and dusty, and his shoes wore out quickly. He walked for days, sleeping under the stars and drinking water from streams. He met strangers along the way. Some were kind and shared their food, while others just looked past him, seeing only a poor boy with nothing to offer. Leo finally arrived in the big city. It was louder and bigger than anything he had ever imagined. Tall buildings stretched up to the sky like giant trees made of glass and steel. Cars whizzed by like angry bees. For a small village boy, it was overwhelming. He felt very small and alone in the bustling crowd. He found a job washing dishes in a small restaurant. The work was hard, and the pay was very little. He worked from early in the morning until late at night, his hands always wet and soapy. He saved every single coin he earned, hiding it in a small tin box under his thin mattress in a tiny room he shared with 3 other men. Every night, after his long day of work, Leo did not rest. He was too tired to sleep but too hopeful to give up. He found a library that was open late and spent his evenings reading. He read books about business, about technology, and about how things were built. He learned about computers, which were like magic boxes that could solve problems and connect people. The librarian, a kind old woman named Mrs. Gable, saw his hunger for knowledge. She helped him find the right books and sometimes left a sandwich for him on her desk. Leo soaked up information like a dry sponge, his mind racing with new ideas and possibilities. Leo used his small savings to buy an old broken computer. He spent all his free time fixing it, using the knowledge he had gained from the library books. He learned how to write computer programs, creating simple games and tools. He started a small business from his tiny room, helping small shop owners create websites to sell their products. His first client was a baker, much kinder than the one in his village. The baker was so happy with his new website that he told all his friends. Soon, more and more people came to Leo for help. His small business began to grow, one happy customer at a time. It was the beginning of something big. Leo's small company, which he named Village Connect, grew faster than he could have ever dreamed. His idea was simple. He wanted to help small businesses from small towns reach bigger markets using the internet. He remembered the struggling shop owners in his own village and wanted to give them a chance to succeed. He worked tirelessly, often forgetting to eat or sleep, fueled by his passion and the memory of his family's struggles. He hired other smart and hard-working people who shared his vision. Together, they built a platform that was easy for anyone to use, even someone who had never touched a computer before. His company became a huge success. Big investors from all over the country heard about the young man from a small village who was changing the world of e-commerce. They saw the potential in his idea and gave him money to make his company even bigger. Village Connect grew from a small room to a giant office in a shiny skyscraper. Leo was no longer a poor boy washing dishes, he was the head of a major corporation. He became a billionaire, a word he had only read about in books. But even with all the money and success, Leo never forgot where he came from. He remained humble and kind, always treating his employees like family. One day, while looking out from his tall office window at the sprawling city below, Leo thought about his village. He thought about his parents, the dusty roads, and the people who had once looked down on him. He felt a strong pull in his heart, a longing to go back. He realized that all his success meant nothing if he could not share it with the people who needed it most. He had built a better life for himself, but now he wanted to build a better life for his entire village. He decided it was time to go home, not to show off his wealth, but to share his good fortune and help heal old wounds. With his mind made up, Leo made a plan. He was not just going to visit, he was going to invest in his village's future. He wanted to build a new school, a hospital, and a community center. He wanted to pave the dusty roads and bring clean water to every home. He wanted to use his company, Village Connect, to help the local farmers and artisans sell their goods to the world. He knew some people might not welcome him, that they might be ashamed of how they had treated him. But Leo remembered his father's words, always be kind. He believed that kindness was the key to unlocking a better future for everyone. When Leo returned to his village, he was not in a fancy car. He walked down the main road, just as he had left it years ago. The villagers peeked out from their windows, whispering in disbelief. "Is that Raggedy Leo?" they asked each other. When they saw his simple clothes and his warm, familiar smile, they slowly came out to greet him. Mr. Baker, the grumpy baker, stood at a distance, his face filled with shame. Leo walked right up to him, extended his hand and said, "It is good to see you, sir. I have missed the smell of your fresh bread." The baker's eyes filled with tears as he shook Leo's hand, a simple act of forgiveness that echoed through the village. Leo shared his plans with the villagers. He did not just give them money, he gave them opportunities. He started by building a brand new school, bright and filled with books and new computers for every child. He hired the best teachers and made sure every child, rich or poor, could attend. He then built a modern clinic so that no one would have to suffer from illness without care. He used his company to create a local marketplace, teaching the farmers how to sell their crops online and the artisans how to share their crafts with the world. The village, once poor and forgotten, began to thrive with new life and energy. The biggest change was not in the new buildings or the paved roads, it was in the hearts of the people. The villagers, who once whispered and judged, now worked together. They helped build the community center and planted gardens. The children, who once mocked Leo, now played together in the new schoolyard, learning about kindness and respect. The village was no longer divided by wealth or status. It had become a true community, united by hope and a shared sense of purpose. Leo's parents watched with pride, their hearts full of joy to see their son bring so much happiness to the place they called home. Leo's story became a legend, a tale told to children every night. It was a story not just about becoming a billionaire, but about the power of a kind heart and a determined spirit. Leo showed everyone that where you come from does not decide where you are going. He proved that forgiveness is stronger than anger and that helping others is the greatest success of all. His journey from a poor village boy to a beloved benefactor taught a timeless lesson. That with courage, hard work, and above all kindness, one person truly can change the world, one village and one heart at a time.